Earlier this year, I met a bloke from Swansea University in the UK. He was putting together a world record attempt for the most Smurf impersonators in one place at one time. Over 3,000 university students covered themselves in blue paint for the world record. And it all started with the love of these little guys.
La 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 la, sing a happy song. La 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 la, Smurf the whole day long.
I first started collecting Smurfs when I was a toddler. My mum would buy me Smurfs from markets and from op shops, and as a toddler she said that I liked little figurines, and she said that I specifically liked the Smurfs and took a shine to those. The Smurfs originated in Belgium by a Belgian cartoonist named Perry Culliford. He created them in 1958 and they featured as secondary characters in a comic strip, and they soon became popular in Europe. They were huge in Europe before they were ever marketed to America and the UK and Australia, and that happened later in the 1980s. It started off with figurines as a selling gimmick for BP stations. Originally the first promotion was called a service with a Smurf, and you got a free Smurf with every X amount of petrol that you bought, and then you had to pay for them afterwards. 1981 is when the cartoon series began. Hanna-Barbera created the cartoon series, which ran for about 9 seasons, and that ended in 1990. The Smurfs hit their peak of popularity in the 80s, and they're definitely an 80s icon. Apart from the figurines that BP made, they had playsets and plush, books, cups, mugs, buildings. In the early 90s, it was fairly easy to find Smurfs at markets and op shops, but nowadays it's harder to find Smurfs that you don't have. So you have to import them from Europe and America. I still like going to markets trying to find Smurfs. You don't know if you're going to find anything or not, but you still got to look. And when you find a surprise Smurf, yeah, it's exciting. I buy my Smurfs from online. Also, there's a Smurf shop online selling from Melbourne. You can pretty much buy any Smurf on there. Every year they release 8 new figurines, and it's usually in a theme. This year was a movie theme. Last year was anniversary party theme. There's a rare set that I've got of 6 historical Smurfs. I've got Abraham Lincoln Smurf, George Washington Smurf. They're definitely probably my rarest Smurfs, and definitely, yeah, one of my favourites. They have a 50 in the current production, which is called a Golden 50, which every year when they add 8 have to be discontinued. I collect DVDs, Xena, the Bill merchandise, Power Ranger action figures. I collect anything that interests me, but the main collection is the Smurfs. I've collected Smurfs my whole life, so I couldn't see myself ever stopping collecting. But it's too late. It's gone too far.